Welcome to Legends and Lore. I'm D.L. Walker, and over the next several months, I'm going to be taking you on a journey. We're going to be talking about the stories, myths, legends, conspiracy theories that have helped shape human history. We'll be talking about everything from Bigfoot and the Loch Ness Monster to serial killers, the occult, hauntings, and the government. And tonight, we start with the mother of all conspiracy theories, Area 51. Now, before we get into Area 51, we have to go back a little ways to 1947, a ranch just outside of Roswell, New Mexico. Mac Brazel, your average rancher, is out before dawn. He comes across some mysterious, pretty weird debris. He doesn't know what it is. So he collects some of this debris and he brings it to the local sheriff. The local sheriff, scratching his head, doesn't know what to make of it either. So he contacts the local military base. And within hours, there are dozens of military personnel scouring Mac Brazel's ranch for all of the evidence that they can find. They have collected every shred of material. They have carted it off to an undisclosed location. Now, the military releases a statement to the press. Army retrieves flying disc. Within 24 hours, that statement is retracted and changed. They now claim that what they found was your average, ordinary weather balloon. Whatever you believe happened on that ranch, well, it can be linked directly to Area 51. Area 51. It's a highly classified remote U.S. Air Force facility in Nevada, just outside of Las Vegas. It is officially known as the Nevada Test and Training Range. It's used for testing and developing advanced aircraft and weapon systems. It's been in use since the Cold War. While its purpose is flight testing, Area 51 is famously linked to UFO and alien conspiracy theories, fueled by its secrecy and, well, the advanced unusual aircraft that have been seen flying out of it. The original project was the U-2 spy plane. Now, I understand why the military would want to keep this place under wraps. They're trying to develop a spy plane that can fly almost to the Earth's atmosphere to spy on the Russians. But there's other things that don't add up. You know, the official designation of Area 51 is a unit of Nellis Air Force Base. The official name for Area 51 is part of the broader Nevada Test and Training Range. Okay, its purpose. The primary function is secret testing and developing underground and new and advanced aircraft. But the fact is that on many occasions, aircraft that seems not quite of this earth have been seen flying above and out of Area 51. Some have even been on film. Now, Area 51 for years wasn't on any maps. Didn't show up in satellite pictures except for blurred photos. And it officially had no designation. The military is very good at keeping secrets. The military is very good at making sure that our focus is somewhere else. And at that time, during the Cold War, they wanted our focus on the Russians. They wanted us fearful. They wanted us to be afraid that a war could break out at any minute. Why? Because they were doing things at bases such as Area 51 that really they didn't want you to know about. So the best way to do it is misinformation. They'll tell you that we have to protect ourselves from the red threat. Meanwhile, what they're really trying to do is reverse engineer technology that may be from up there. Now, the storage, examination, and reverse engineering of crashed alien spacecraft, including material supposedly recovered from Roswell, those stories have been going on for decades. And quite frankly, I have to wonder myself exactly what I believe. Do I believe that there are recovered alien spaceships in some remote underground bunker at Area 51? Quite possibly. I do believe in aliens, and I do believe in UFOs. And I do believe that the government likes to pull the wool over our eyes. Now, when you think about the way their security is set up, their perimeter is mostly fenced, but there are parts of their perimeter that is not fenced at all, but there are sensors. There are sensors all along the roadway. There are heat sensors, sound sensors, vibration sensors. And as somebody who's driven by this base, I can tell you, at any given moment, they know exactly where you are. They know exactly where you are, and they are listening to you, and they can see you. All along the perimeter, you will see white pickup trucks that are full of military personnel. They call these guys the camo dudes. If you get too close, the camo dudes will come down and they will threaten you. And they will tell you that you better back up and turn around and go the other way. There are signs posted. Use of deadly force authorized. They're not joking around at Area 51. Now, I would love, absolutely love, somebody who has officially worked there to blow the lid wide open. But, I doubt that will ever happen in my lifetime. Now, there was a former employee named Bob Lazar. Bob Lazar claimed to be a nuclear physicist who worked at Area 51 in a designated section called Section 5. He claimed that he worked with these retrieved flying discs, helping to reverse engineer and develop the technology for the military. Now, Bob Lazar is a kind of an interesting case because there are parts of his story that absolutely add up. And then there are parts that you look at and you just go, what the hell is this guy talking about? He claims he was a graduate of MIT, yet MIT has no record of Bob Lazar. The military has no record of Bob Lazar working in anything other than a small project that had nothing to do with Area 51. Bob Lazar claims that they've erased his history. Bob Lazar claims that they were trying to silence him and make it as though he never existed. Well, I mean, Bob Lazar, I'll be honest with you. I don't know what to believe when it comes to Bob Lazar. He is very well spoken. He knows what he's talking about when it comes to science. And, he started talking about element 115, which was the alien fuel. And, for years, everybody was like, element 115, what are you talking about? Well, element 115 all of a sudden showed up on the periodic table of elements. It is now an official element. So there's things that make me think that Bob Lazar is halfway telling the truth. Now, the workers, you may say to yourself, if you work at Area 51 and it's so secret, you must live there, full time. No. Workers at Area 51 are flown in on discrete Boeing, I believe 707s, out of Las Vegas, Nevada, out of the Las Vegas airport. These planes have no numbers. They have no markings other than a red stripe down the side. These are called Janet flights. And they leave every morning with their cargo of Area 51 workers, and they leave out every evening. Now, there are, of course, military personnel that do stay at the base at all times, but not all the workers do. I find that interesting. Now, the U-2 spy plane, it was one of the crowning achievements of the aeronautical division of the military. And I give props to the military for the technology that they have created. But there are some people that say that some of that technology they've created came from aliens, came from the fact that they had alien dignitaries at Area 51. Now, I don't know if that's true or not. I'd like to think it was. But then again, I'm weird. Now, I'm sure that everybody has seen the alien autopsy video. That was supposedly filmed either at Area 51 or at Nellis. There's so many stories. There are stories of miles and miles of underground railway systems under Area 51. There's stories of craft that have been recovered. Some say upwards of 13 different craft are at Area 51 at any given moment. Now, I think, personally, that, the story has probably been blown out of proportion over the years. But, that's the beauty of it. That's what keeps our imaginations sparking on this stuff. Area 51 was only officially recognized by our government in 2013. Up until then, they denied it even existed. Now, whether that was for national security or to keep us from knowing the truth, the fact is that we will never know. Not unless somebody who worked there pops up and proves that they worked there and can blow it wide open. Now, this episode, yes, it's mainly about Area 51, but I also want to touch on a couple of things. A lot of times when you hear people talk about, oh, I've seen a UFO, most people, they look at that person like they should be wearing a tinfoil hat. The fact is I have seen UFOs in my past. I have seen them, and I have, seen them over our local military base here in Georgia. I used to live within 10 miles of the local base, and driving down the road at 2:00 in the morning, I saw a giant triangular shaped black object. And it sped off, and then following it were two very quick helicopters. Now, could it have been something that we've developed? Absolutely. Did it look like something we developed? Absolutely not. The whole idea that we are the only people, we are the only creatures, we are the only living entities in this universe, to me, is egotistical and narcissistic. I absolutely believe that there has to be life beyond our atmosphere. And part of what fueled my interest in aliens and UFOs and conspiracy theories in general was Area 51. Area 51 has a rich history of misinformation, has a history of, intimidation, and that fuels the desire to know. There are other bases in the U.S. that, quite frankly, I believe house alien technology of some sort. Mount Shasta, I believe, is a kind of an odd one. Some believe that the mountain is hollow. I don't necessarily believe that, but I do believe that there is a facility there. Now, no matter what you believe, when it comes to Area 51, you have to be able to dissect the whole story. You have to be able to dissect what you believe to be fact and fiction. And these are the facts broken down as far as I'm concerned. Fact. The military kept it secret for decades. It did not exist. Fact. There have been strange lights and objects seen above that base. Fact. You can't really get anywhere near there without being threatened. Fact. There is only one person that has ever spoken out about working there when it comes to technology, and that is Bob Lazar. Now, other people have claimed to work there, but they also claim that they didn't work with anything secretive, as far as aliens. They worked with secret aeronautic projects. Now, here's the fiction. Okay? The fiction part is there is not, a Hangar 18. You've heard the stories. Hangar 18 is housing all the UFOs. No, I don't believe there is a Hangar 18. Okay? If there is alien technology at Area 51, it is nowhere above ground. Okay? Fiction. That's all I got. The facts outweigh the fiction. Area 51, military base with such secrets. Now you may say, DL, listen, it's a military base. Of course it's very secretive. But this is the thing. When the government absolutely says something doesn't exist, I guarantee you, it exists. The government has said, we absolutely have no alien technology at Area 51 or at any other base. These are all just things that we've developed over the years. That tells me that they have alien technology. That tells me that they are doing their best song and dance to try to get us to look the other way and go, oh, okay, thanks. Now, should I be wearing a tinfoil helmet? I don't know. Maybe. But you can't dismiss the strangeness. You cannot dismiss the bright lights, the objects seen above. You can't dismiss the absolute and utter threats that have been made to people who have even ventured nearby. Area 51 is always going to be iconic. Several years back, there was a whole Storm Area 51 project that some teenager had started online, and people actually showed up. And, this is the thing, though. If you're going to storm Area 51 and demand to see the aliens, you're either going to get shot or you're going to end up in the brig for a very long time. And there were several arrests, but thankfully nobody was killed. I don't think it's that important to risk your life over. That just, to me, was goofy. Now, if you go to Roswell, New Mexico, they are very, very alien-centric. They have shops, and they have the Roswell Museum and all this stuff, and all that's fun and everything. But does all that kind of glaze over the real truth of the matter? That, we can hope, because I hope there is alien technology. I hope that we have made contact. Because this is the fact. We as a society, as human beings, yes, we're smart. We can do things on our own. But, maybe we need a little bit of help to do some of the important stuff. And maybe we're getting it. Now, there's talk of an object hurtling through space as we speak. Supposed to be here in November. And there are scientists and professors who are saying that it's an alien craft and it could destroy the Earth. Two things. First and foremost, if it is an alien craft, do I think they're coming here specifically to destroy the Earth? Probably not. But chances are a craft that big, because it is huge, it's not a craft at all. Okay? Make sure that when you're reading articles about anything having to do with aliens, UFOs, Area 51, anything, that you have an open mind, but also, don't fall for everything you read. Life's too short. Area 51. Conspiracy? Fact? Fiction? Well, the fact is that we will never know. Thank you for joining me, and I hope that each and every one of you keep your eyes open.